If you seen Roast Battle on Comedy Central and thought those comedians were too mean or took a joke too far, you ain't heard nothing yet. Join Brian Moses and DJ Coach T for Roast Battle the podcast as they bring you weekly shows and interviews from the world-famous Comedy Store in Hollywood, California. Listen to Roast Battle for the most divisive jokes and healing interviews every Thursday in your podcast feed. Subscribe now and leave a joke of your own when you rate and review. This week's podcast is brought to you by Toyota Untold. Toyota isn't just a car company, and the new podcast, Toyota Untold, isn't just about cars. It's about finding solutions. It's about triumph, facing fears, celebrating life, and rethinking what's possible. In Toyota Untold, you'll hear behind-the-scenes stories about what drives the team members of Toyota and keeps them there for so long. You can find Toyota Untold right now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Check out Toyota Untold. What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome.
That's right. Welcome and Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Now,
well, it's not New Year yet.
Well, by the time some people will listen to this, it'll be New Year, and some people will be getting ready for the New Year. I mean, the New Year is just a couple days away. So Happy New Year's.
Okay, I'm with it.
All right, Happy New Year's. And shout to everybody else. We just want to say thank you for supporting us all year long. This is the 101 episode. 101.
Right.
Because the 100th episode we're actually doing live. So we're skipping the 100th episode.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't really make sense. Because we're not going to air the 100th episode. So it'll just look weird.
All right.
That it goes from 99 to 101. That's more like the 100th episode celebration.
Right.
So this can be the 100th episode.
No, the 100th episode is the one that we're doing live at Tao.
It would look weird. So if someone's listening to the podcast in 6 months, let's say they're a newbie, they might go crazy looking for the 100th episode, not really understanding that that was a live event.
So we'll just post 100th episode live. You missed it.
Just, that's going to be the title.
That's going to be the title. You missed it. Yeah, if you missed it, you missed it.
Shame on you for that.
Well, that's what we're going to do. This is 101. 100th
okay, we could talk about this off the mics. I don't really agree with what you're saying. That can be, you know, 100th episode, yes, but also like a celebration. So that will be a little bit different. I still think that we should have a 100th episode.
No, this is 101. This is 101 episode.
So you just want to, your goal is to confuse people.
No, the 100th episode is gone. The people who were going to see us at Tao, the 100 people at our 100th episode for our special event, get that. Everybody else is 101.
Okay, Rashawn.
Good.
I'm not going to argue. If you're so adamant about it being that way, okay.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Okay.
See, you're starting the new year great. You're not arguing with me. Well, I just want to say also shout out to Lil Logan. Today is actually Logan's birthday.
Yes, today is Logan's birthday. Today's December 28th. My baby turns 15.
That's right. So
yes.
Happy birthday to little Logan. This is actually early in the morning. This is like 7, 8 a.m. We're actually taping the podcast early because we want to get out. We're going to go get him a cake. We're going to get him a bunch of balloons.
We're getting pink balloons.
Pink balloons. And
Princess balloons.
Princess balloons.
We're going to flood his room with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not going to be up until 10.
Yeah, he'll get up about 10, 11. So we're going to get him, get him some balloons, and then we'll take him out for the day. Take him, get something at his favorite restaurant. He loves racing, go-karting, so we'll take him go-karting. We'll do a couple of things with him.
It's a sad day when your child ages out of birthday parties.
Right.
It's a sad day. And it's funny because when they're young, you can have birthday parties at 1,000 different places.
Correct.
There's so many options. And then when they turn 18, 19, then they're old enough to get into clubs. So they can do that. But this age, like the 15, 16, 17 age, it's kind of difficult to celebrate your child's birthday because there's not that many things to do. They're too old for certain things and too young for others.
Correct.
So we're going to go and do his favorite things today. We're taking him go-kart racing, him and some friends. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So since it is the New Year's and everybody I know that has a podcast or that has a radio show or that has an internet show always talks about New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm. We do it every year.
We do it every year. So let's talk about New Year's resolutions. Now,
I'm not going to lie. I haven't really thought about mine.
No, we could think about it as we're doing this podcast.
Okay.
All right. Now with New Year's resolutions, this is something that's you're supposed to focus on. You put it on your vision board so that you can have a better year and focus on the things that you want to do and improve yourself. Right. So let's talk about some of ours.
Okay.
All right. Now, of course, there is always the generic ones.
Do you have generic ones this year?
Everybody. I mean, it's the same one. I want to be closer to God. I want to be a better person. Those are the generic ones. Those are the ones you hear all the time. I want to be a better me. I want to eat better. I want to go to the gym more. Like, those are all resolutions that everybody does, right? So now let's think of some ones that are outside of that. Because, of course, I want to eat better this year. You hold your mic, Corny, baby. There you go. Okay. Of course, you want to eat better this year. What are some other ones?
Well, I know that you're going to say that you want to work out more.
Right. I do want to work out more. You know what? Not even work out more. Hey, let's switch mics in here because your wire is acting a little funny. There we go. Now, yeah.
Do I sound better, y'all?
Yeah, you sound better.
Okay.
Now, of course, work out more. And not even work out more. I just want to work out more consistently and eat better consistently. Like, I'll do it for like a month and a half.
Yeah, you'll be a beast.
Hard.
For a month and a half.
Go hard, extra hard. Cutting avocados, working out twice a day. And then when I fall off, it's
you'd be like bleep that ish.
I'd be like fried lobster tails, crab legs, macaroni and cheese and rice. Like I do that. So I want to be consistent with the way that I eat. And I was thinking maybe Monday through Friday be like a anal with it. And when I mean anal with it, I mean like super duper like work out every Monday through Friday, eat great Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I can splurge and do what the hell I want.
What the hell you want?
Well, not what the hell I want, but go outside of that box. So for instance,
you know what? Before you tell me your for instance, I think that it would make sense to talk to a nutritionist. Because right now we're two novices trying to choose a diet.
Right.
When we really don't know anything.
Correct.
Like, we don't know if eating really great and clean during the week and then splurging on the weekends counteracts one another. You can eat crazy on the weekends and it can completely undo all the good that you did during the week.
That's true.
Like, you're guessing, like, we're novices. We really don't know about nutrition and diet.
Correct.
So before you resolve to do that, thinking that you're doing yourself a favor, we should seek professional counsel on diet and nutrition. So why don't we resolve to do that instead? Like, let's do it the smart way.
I'm trying to get
was
this.
it just me with the mic? It was the mic.
Yeah, I'm hearing a little hum, but it's just a little bit.
Okay. So what do you think about that?
I mean, we can do that. We can find a nutritionist and really talk about food and what we need to eat. A lot of people say we should be eating more. But just small portions. Every 3 hours, we should be eating
more smaller portions.
Yeah, but we'll
I've heard everything. Right. I've heard everything, and to be honest, I don't know what's right.
Correct.
I don't know. You hear, okay, no carbs, the sugar and carbs. So no rice, no bread. You hear, eating vegetables and organic fruits. And then you hear this, you hear that. You hear, eating small portions. You hear eating big. You hear so many different takes on diet. And I really don't know. I haven't done my research. I haven't done any kind of homework. Not to say that eating clean has ever been at the top of my list. As you guys know, after we saw What the Health, there were concerns that I had. Like, I wanted to give up eating pork. I considered giving up cheeses, even though I love cheeses. All these different things went through my head, but I'm going to be honest with you. It kind of was like out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
The less I started thinking about it, the more I ate the things that I talked about stop eating, and the whole eating thing is very, very difficult, especially, people that struggle with weight issues. You guys know what I'm talking about. Eating clean is very, very difficult because food is such a treat.
Correct.
It is such a treat. We all love food. We all love to eat, and curbing that and having to put yourself under strict guidelines regarding your diet is one of the most difficult things to do.
But you almost have to. if you want to live that healthier life and you want to live longer and you want to keep the nasty and the cancer out your system, it's best to eat that way. It absolutely positively is.
Will you give up pork? Because pork is supposed to be like the dirtiest food to eat.
No, I'm not going to give up pork.
You just talked about cancer and carcinogens and things of that nature. And you're like, no, I'm not going to give up pork.
Let me explain to you like this. I don't eat pork like that. Like I don't go to a restaurant and say, hey, let me get a pork chop.
Get a pork. Let me go get a pork.
I don't say I'm gonna get some pork chops or.
But you'll eat a ham and cheese sandwich. You'll eat a prosciutto and mozzarella sandwich.
Every once in a while,
bacon with your breakfast.
Every once in a while, I don't even eat breakfast like that anymore. But yes, when my mom comes and she cooks French toast, yeah, she makes bacon. Every once in a while, if you say, babe, let's go to a breakfast joint, but we don't really eat breakfast. Think about it. We don't do breakfast like that. So pork I don't really eat it, but every once in a while. Yes, I want a piece of bacon. So yes, I'm going to eat pork. I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and be like, pork is done forever. No, I'm going to cut down on the pork intake, but I will have a couple of pieces of bacon. Bacon is effing good. I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself. No, bacon is good.
You know how many times I wanted to say I'm going to become a pescatarian, but I don't want to fully commit to anything.
Correct.
Like I think that, and this isn't a resolution. This is just what I foresee my eating habit going to be. I want to be mainly pescatarian. I want to choose to eat a lot of vegetables, and I want an occasional steak and an occasional piece of bacon.
Right. I'm not a steak lover anymore, so I don't care.
How did that happen? When did that happen?
I just don't care for a steak anymore.
2 or 3 months ago, we go out to eat, and I'll order a steak that we used to enjoy together, and you don't even want it anymore.
I just don't love.
But what happened?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't love them anymore. I don't love steak. Like my whole thing now is seafood. I love seafood. I love. I never ordered chicken from a restaurant, but I love seafood. I'm a seafood lover. I love seafood. I love fish. I love shrimp. I love lobster. I just love seafood. I'll take a bite of your steak, a piece or two, but I don't want my own steak anymore.
Well, then if you're not pressed for steak like that, then truthfully, you can give up steak because red meat is not supposed to be good for you.
Yeah, I don't really.
Red meat is not supposed to be good for you.
Right. I don't really mess with steak. So I just fell off of it. So.
You can give that up altogether then if you feel that way.
Yeah, man. I mean, my whole thing is I'm not gonna give up anything. And I'm sitting here. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I want a piece of steak, I'm gonna try a piece of steak. But my whole thing is 90. I ain't gonna say 90, but 75% of the time, I want to eat healthier. Yes, I'm gonna have some times where fuck it, I just want a piece of steak, or fuck it, I just want whatever, a piece of bacon. Yes, that's gonna be me, absolutely all day. But the majority of the time, you know what it is. I don't want to waste it.
Waste what?
I'm gonna explain it. So you have all these fancy clothes and fancy shoes and fancy bags, right? And you might have a pair of shoes that's your favorite pair of shoes, but you're not gonna wear it on a regular day because you don't want to waste it, right? You want when you wear it, you want to be you want it to be like you're going to some special occasion.
Okay,
that's how I feel about food now. Like on Monday. When I'm at work, I'm not going to order a effed up breakfast at work because I feel like I'm wasting it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if I'm going to eat something that's outside of the box, I'm going to eat it when we go to Tao. So it's not that wasted time. Or I'm going to eat it when we go to one of our other favorite restaurants. So it's not wasted. But I just don't want to order from our local pizzeria, a pepperoni pizza because that's a waste to me.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
So basically you're saying that for the majority of your life, you want to eat clean, and then you want to wait for more special reasons or special occasions to eat dirty.
Correct. And you said the majority of my life. I'm just trying to go. I'm going year to year. This is this year, next year's resolution. Right?
See,
this is 2019.
You're so short-sighted.
Like you're for the rest of your life. No, I didn't say that. I said for right now.
Well, why wouldn't you want to eat clean for the rest of your life?
I might change my mind. Maybe next year I might just want to be a vegetarian.
You're not being very inspirational. You know that, right?
I know, but I'm just being real. Like, I'm just trying for 2019. For 2020, I might just say, you know what, I want to be a vegan. But for 2019, this is
going to be nobody's vegan.
I'm trying. But that's what I'm trying to do as far as the food is concerned. Just try to eat healthier. I also want to, since we're talking resolutions.
Well, is that even a resolution? Because you just contradicted yourself. You're like, I don't want to give the normal resolutions. Like, I want to eat better. I want to work out more. Let's think outside the box.
I mean, that's real.
And then we just spent 10 minutes talking about.
No, that is real. Because usually people say, I'm just going to give up all this.
No, but you said that you weren't going to do it, and then you just did it.
No, because I'm being real with myself. I'm not giving up all bad foods. I'm not.
No, I said you said you're not going to give normal generic resolutions.
I don't think that's a generic resolution.
You just said it. You said, like, I'm going to eat better, like I'm going to work out more.
No, I'm saying I'm eating better on my behalf. Meaning, most people when they do New Year's resolution, they say, I'm going to stop eating pork and I'm going to stop eating steak. I didn't say that. I said I'm cutting down. That's.
Oh, I think me and everybody else misunderstood you.
Oh no,
basically, I got from you from what you said that you're not going to talk about generic resolutions like I'm going to eat better, I'm going to go to the gym, and then you just had this whole discussion about eating better.
Maybe a little bit.
And going to the gym.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Okay, but you're saying that you're proposing a remixed version,
correct,
of eating better.
Right. Also, I want to do more of a schedule. Mm-hmm. I want to be more militant with my life. Meaning... Explain. All right. So, every morning I have to go do the breakfast club. So that's from whatever it is, 4 a.m. to 11. Mm-hmm. All right. From there, I want to be militant, whether, I love the real estate thing now. So maybe give myself 3 hours a day into real estate, whether it's looking at homes, looking online, doing this, that, and the other. 11 to 3, let's say. Then 4 o'clock to 5, gym. Mm-hmm. Then 5 to 7, something with the kids. Mm-hmm. I want to be more militant with my time. You
want to implement a schedule.
Absolutely.
You want a strict schedule.
Yes.
Well.
So you say, okay, let's say at 3 to 4, gym time. My babe's at the gym, or I'm going to the gym with my babe. So at 3 to 4, it's gym time and we better go to the gym.
Now you're dragging me into your resolution.
I'm just asking. I said I said either it's I know my babe is at the gym, or I'm going with my babe to the gym. I gave you an out.
Okay. All right.
You understand what I'm saying? I want to be more militant with time, and I want to kind of stick to that time. So I think that'll give me more time throughout the day.
Well, since you are wanting to be more, as you put it, militant with your time, now that you want a strict schedule, you need to schedule in this podcast better.
You're absolutely right.
That's what you need to do.
No, you're right, and that's part of the resolutions, to make sure that we schedule this podcast the way that we should. We've been slacking a little bit, but
I wouldn't call it slacking. I don't think it's slacking. No, it's definitely not slacking. It's your schedule, your life,
right,
is so hectic.
I know.
You are responsible for so much and you do so much that we're doing the podcast at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Correct.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Right before I have to go to work. Right.
You have to leave for work. You're waking me up out of bed like, all right, I got an hour.
But
do you know what I mean?
I feel
like
bad.
That's very poor scheduling.
You're right, but I feel bad because there's so many of the people that listen to our podcast, enjoy our podcast, and listen as a couple. But like you said, it's
impossible the way that your life is set up right now.
Between the Breakfast Club and the real estate and the car show and the
your kids,
the kids and our time and parties and everything that we're doing is just so much, and we're renovating the house, so we're packing things, and we're just doing so much. So I also think that creating a schedule will create a schedule for us to do a podcast as well. So it'd be like, every Thursday at this time, we got to do this.
Well, it would be Tuesday because we drop on Wednesdays.
Correct.
Right. So you need a very strict Tuesday schedule because a lot of people that do podcasts, they do like maybe 5 in one day.
Correct.
And then they release them over the next 5 weeks. And during those 5 weeks, they're recording more. Like they do it early. And that's smart and that's great. And I know people that do podcasts like that. And I think that that's very efficient. But for us, I don't really like to do it like that because I like to talk about what's going on right now.
In our life.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Correct.
Right now. I don't like to have topics per se and then attack a topic each podcast because I like to talk about things as they're going on, so it's fresh and it's organic and it's real and it's new and it's right there on my mind.
Absolutely.
And I'm not looking for something to. It's not like fodder. Like, we're not trying to fill up an hour.
Correct.
So that's why we don't do it like that. But I think that now we just need to really fit it in, and it is a priority. But your life, and you have so many things that just come up last minute.
Right.
Like, we'll say, okay, on Tuesday, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And you'll call me like, oh, this came up, that came up, this opportunity came up, or I have to fly here. I'm flying back tonight, but I have to fly here for a few hours. I'm coming right back. Your life is very, very hectic, very, very up in the air, as is mine, but yours times 10, so we need to figure that out a little bit better. And if you want, I'll help you with your schedule.
Absolutely. And I think you should, because you'll be like, what time's your flight? And I'll be like,
call June.
Because half the time I don't know. You'd be like, where you at this weekend? When I say,
no.
You see, because I don't know. It's
Let
like,
me text June.
Like, I live day to day. Like,
you do.
Somebody be like, yo, where you at this Saturday? I'd be like, Like, Danny just hit me and be like, yo, I just seen a flyer for this club. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, I really just forget. Like, I'm doing so much.
You forget, or you don't know. You just don't even know.
That is
like,
true.
You're filled in at the last minute. So you need to be more abreast of what's going on in your life and where you need to be. You need to be in better contact with your manager so that we need to put it on a schedule from week to week, and then we can fit things in better.
Correct.
Like, you need to be more organized, or we need to be more organized for you.
Absolutely.
So I resolve to help you with that.
Okay,
I'll help you with your scheduling.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
Now, as far as us as a couple, before we get to your personal resolutions, I don't even know if you thought about yours yet.
I haven't.
What do you think about us as a couple as far as resolutions are concerned? What should we do that's better that we haven't been doing, or that we can improve upon?
Well, this is actually, if you ask me what my resolutions are, which I haven't thought of, but the first thing that would come to mind is more family than couple. And this is something that we can do as a couple for our family. Like we just said, since your schedule is so hectic and unpredictable, I think that we need to make Fridays off limits. Off limits for any business opportunities, off limits for going to see houses, off limits for anything except Friday night, because you don't leave the house until 11:30 midnight.
Okay.
But from 11:30, between you leaving the Breakfast Club in the morning and 11:30 at night, I think it needs to be family day.
Well, the kids don't get up to 3.
Well, at 11:30, like, what, you're going to come home, you're going to take a nap, you're going to eat something. By that time, they're home from school.
Okay.
So if you want me to rephrase it, from 3 o'clock to 11:30, I think that Fridays need to be family day, like hardcore, non-negotiable family day. Unless you need to fly out of town for something special or whatnot. But if you're home, I think that that's what we need to dedicate Fridays for. Madison is going to be going off to college soon.
Correct.
Logan is just getting older. He has 2 more years. And the babies, in 2 weeks, Brookie went from, saying words and being able to communicate with you to full-blown sentences and cussing people out.
Right.
Like, they are growing so fast.
They are.
And now I look at Brookie at all the things that she does now and like her words. And then I think back to when, like, maybe those weeks when London started talking, and I can barely remember them. I'm like, wow, when she started talking, like, how did she sound? And, what were like her first words? I have it all written down, but I don't remember. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to be more present in those moments. So Friday night, I want every Friday night to be movie night. We did that over the holiday season.
We've seen Home Alone. We've seen Home Alone 2. We've seen The Wizard of Oz.
Every Friday for the 5 weeks leading up to Christmas, we watched a movie every Friday night with the whole family.
Correct.
And the crazy thing is Madison and Logan were like 100% in. Like, all right, what are we watching tonight? Yes. And we're watching, like you said, The Wizard of Oz, Home Alone 1, 2, and 3, A Christmas Story, all of these holiday feely movies or movies from like when we were kids and stuff. And Madison and Logan are there with the popcorn and, you know, the drinks and the sour power and everything. And we're all happy and it feels good. You fell asleep on most of them.
Absolutely.
Like after the first 45 minutes. And that's okay. But just the fact that, you know, you're piled up and we're all piled up in the family room watching movies, it felt great.
Right.
And our older kids even appreciated it more
Absolutely.
than the younger kids. Do you know what I mean? So I want to do things like that. I want to do things, all of us together as a family on Fridays.
I agree.
I'm not talking about going out to eat. I'm talking about fun things. And even if it's, you know, maybe one Friday we spend the whole day just with Madison or the whole day just with Logan doing something specific for them. You know, like, yes, I'd like to do it as a unit for most of the times, but if we find that there's a reason to give any one child special attention, I want to do that.
Absolutely. I think that is smart, and I think we should do that for each and every one of the kids and get special time and really, you know, do things as a family. You know, and also I want to, for the new year, I know we both work a lot and I know we both do so many things, but I just think that we need maybe once a month or, you know, because once a week is going to be almost impossible, where me and you just get away. You know, even if it's a hotel in the city, a hotel down the block, where it's just me and you just have us time. And the reason I say once a month, we go out a lot and we go out to dinner or whatever, but I mean just me and you, just no kids knocking on the door, because what happened yesterday can't happen again. Like, I'm tired of this. Now, if this is the first time you're listening to the podcast, you know we have 5 kids, and this house is very, very crazy. So, you know, yesterday
That's
we get up.
That's your fault, though, because you like morning sex.
Yesterday we get up.
I like night sex.
And I do my thing. I dig Gia
Come on,
down.
Rashawn. Come on.
And she comes immediately
Come on, Rashawn.
I do it like I do.
Come on.
So now it's my turn, right? So now, boom, we going. And you know what? And fellas, you know when you're right there and it's about to happen, and you're like, yes, I'm doing this. I'm gonna just shoot the club up crazy. And then Madison was so disrespectful. She didn't even knock on the door. She just
and she's the one that always knocks, because we have a hard rule in our house, like, you knock before you enter, and our door is always closed. You knock before you enter. And she was leaving to go to the mall. She had to return something that we got her for Christmas.
Right. And then she go, boom, bust open the door. And right before I could explode, she comes to the door like, Dad. I'm like, fuck.
And then we had to play there and lay dead.
Like we were sleeping.
Like we were sleeping on top of each other.
And most kids would get the hit and be like, oh, I'll come right back.
No, she walks in.
Madison has no clue. Walks in and have a conversation.
Like, Dad, have the credit card.
Dad, have the credit card. Dad, I got to back out the car, but your car is close to mine. I'm like, you can do it. Go ahead. He was like, Dad, I don't want to hit your car. Fuck my car right now.
So you did say that. You were like, bleep my car.
Fuck that Ferrari right now. Just back your shit out, all right? Come on. Get the fuck out the room. And then she was like, but Dad, let me ask you a question.
That means we played it off so good.
I'm like,
you were legit laying on top of me.
I know.
Like, we're naked. You can see both of our shoulders and necks.
You talking loud. The kids are still there.
You can see both of our shoulders and necks. The cover's on top.
I'm like, goodness gracious.
You are legitimately on top of me.
I know.
She walks in like, do. Yeah, so,
has a conversation.
What about that shirt that you wanted me to return for you, Dad?
And then she goes, how do you like my outfit?
Where's the bag?
Like,
how do you like my outfit?
I was like, fuck your outfit.
Hold on, you think I should change my shoes? Does this belt go nice with my shoes? I'm sitting there looking like, you're 17 and you have no clue what's going on here right now.
I'm like, yo, get the fuck out. I'm like, yo, walk the dog. Do something. Just get out of my room. Goodness gracious.
I wanted to curse her out for walking into the room without knocking. But then I thought it would give away what we're doing because she doesn't typically get cursed out.
But mind you guys, and this is a little TMI, we're having this conversation and I'm still inside gear.
Come on, Rashawn, stop it.
I'm just telling the people.
Rashawn.
I didn't say I busted inside of you. I was just still inside of you. So now
Rashawn.
we're not moving and she's still having this conversation. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying. We just need some more of us time where we have
you
our own
get
hotel.
Away.
Yeah, we got to get away because this is crazy. It ruined my nut. It wasn't a good one.
So wait, when it eventually happened, it wasn't amazing?
It wasn't like the first one. Like that first one was, I was on a high because you just had came and I'm about to go.
Great.
And then it was just like.
So wait, but you acted like it was amazing.
I mean, it was amazing, but it could have been like there's
levels.
Yeah. There's levels. There's levels. And that was That was like, you know.
Yeah, because it's like you're into it and everything.
You know, sometimes when you drink a soda and that
first, like as soon as you open it, it's
punches
like,
you in your throat. Yes. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, but that's what you're about to, because you were whispering in my ear.
Right.
Like what was about to happen.
Right. But that.
I was like, okay. But literally, you whispered in my ear.
About to come.
I'm trying to be discreet.
And then
friend,
Maddie walked to the door and be like, no, you're not. You ain't coming nowhere. Who said you coming up in this bitch? Nobody's coming in this bitch. Fucking hater. All his family does is hate on me.
3 strokes later, she busted through the door.
Fucking haters in here. But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that we have some special time.
Be like, wake up. Wake up.
Shut up. I was up already.
No, you weren't.
You were
like
I stay ready.
You were like in a lucid state. Like you were not.
I stay ready.
Okay. All right. So you want to get away once a month?
Yes.
All right. So
it could just be a day. It could be, it could be the hotel down the block. I just
down the block.
Where we ski at.
Okay, so that's not down the block. That's like 40 minutes away.
You know what I mean? Just close to the house.
Now, I don't believe that you're really going to do that.
We can do that. It could be a Tuesday. It could be a Friday.
Right, but it could
be a Sunday.
I think that that's like a wasted resolution. I don't think that that's actually going to happen.
We'll figure it out. Well, see,
I want to make sure that if you're going to resolve to do things, that it's realistic, that you actually intend on doing it.
It could be when I go out of town to do a show, you come with me. It could be once a month to make sure that you're there. There's no kids. We're in a room by ourselves and we can fuck. What? I just want to put it to you straight so you understood where I was coming from. I'll keep going if you don't talk. If I want to bend you over and
Rashawn, stop it.
Lick your ass,
no, you need to stop.
I don't want to have to worry about the kids busting in. All right, see, I told you to start talking. You ain't want to talk. You don't want to talk.
No, but you just go too far sometimes.
Just go too far sometimes. But anyway, that's mine. What about yours? What are your New Year's resolution? Do you have any? Have you thought of any?
No, because then you're going to make fun of me.
What?
You're going to tell me that mine is generic.
Oh, gosh. Be closer to God.
No.
Go to church more.
No. That's not it.
I'm gonna eat healthier.
No. Stop.
I'm gonna go with you to the gym more. I'm gonna. Am I starting to get some of these?
I wasn't gonna say be closer to God. I feel as though I'm very close to God.
Okay.
Like I pray like maybe 4 or 5 times a day. Mm-hmm. So I feel very close to God. I do. And this is a real resolution, and I have to present it as a resolution because that'll help it to be real for me. I do want to come to the gym with you.
Okay.
And I think that this is important because I think that a lot of people that are already fit think, okay, no, I don't have to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty fit,
Very fit.
And I think it's a misconception to think that you only need to go to the gym to lose weight.
Correct.
There's this lady, this older woman. I don't know if we've ever mentioned her before. We talk about her in our own private lives because we see her like 2 or 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. And we always joke about her. So we might have mentioned it on the podcast before.
The walking lady?
Yes. There's this woman in our neighborhood that walks every single day. She's got to be like 75. Mm-hmm. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
She's got to be about 75. And she walks up hills, down hills. How many miles do you think she walks a day?
I don't know, but she walks in the rain, the sleet,
It doesn't matter. It can be a nor'easter. The sky can be falling in. She is going to walk. I mean, we've seen her walk through snowstorms where... like that big snowstorm that happened several weeks ago. Mm-hmm. She's walking through the snowstorm. Like you can get hit. Like cars are sliding all over the place.
But what's her nickname? The neighborhood actually gave her a nickname.
They call her Sooner or Later.
Sooner or later, yeah.
Like
she's gonna
sooner or later you're going to get hit by a car.
Yes, because she just walked.
Wait, they call her eventually.
Eventually, sooner or later. Because there's no sidewalks here. So she's walking in the street. And sometimes it's turny. So when you're coming up these turns, and all of a sudden
she'll be right there.
She'll be right there. So
I've had to swerve to miss hitting her on more than one occasion.
Absolutely.
But anyway, she might be walking to provide inspiration to me to say, you know what? When I'm that age, I want to be so fit where I don't feel achy, breaky, tired,
Correct.
frail,
Correct.
fragile. Like I want to go into my older years still feeling like I'm 30.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like I want to be fit. I want to be tight. I want to be right. I do want to eat better because I want to prepare for later in life.
Correct.
Because, there's things that, we can look at ourselves now and say, oh, wow, maybe if I had done this differently 10 years ago, I'd be in a better physical condition at this point in my life. So I want to be proactive about it. I want to look to the future now. So I'd like to, I want better wind.
Right.
Like my wind is just so right now. And I've noticed like, okay, as years have gone by, like my wind is slacking. Now, if I run up the block, by the time I hit the corner, I'm like,
right.
I don't want to be that. Like I want my insides to be better. So I'm going to work out with you. Like when you go to the gym, I'm going to go to the gym with you.
Okay.
I am going to eat better. I'll just give like a little cliff note. Like I said, I plan on being pescatarian for the majority of my eating habits, and I'm going to, let loose every now and then, like my mac and cheese, my fried foods and things like that. I'm not going to say only on the weekends. It'll be when I feel like it, but I'm going to be disciplined so that when I feel like it, I know will be in my best interest.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm just going to sum it up by saying I'm going to monitor my eating better. I'd like to eat cleaner.
Gotcha.
So that's where I'm going to start. Regarding God, because he has to be in our resolutions, not that I want to be closer with God, but I want to be more involved with getting our children closer to God.
Yeah, I thought about that. I don't know if you realized, but
I heard you say something the other day and it made me think about it.
Okay.
But go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, I'm starting to bring them in more and more with our conversations.
Right.
With thank you, God, and praying to God, and just teaching them how to pray and do it better. I'm just starting to bring the smaller ones in, whether it's Brooklyn. I made Brooklyn pray with me the other day. I made London and Jackson. Just like you said, bring our kids closer to God.
Right. But we said that we were going to do this last year and we did it more than we had done before. But I really want to go to church every other week. I know that every week is not going to be possible because you are away too much.
Correct.
So I don't think that we'll be able to accomplish it as a family, and I won't be able to do it without you. You know, I need another adult there, like with the kids. So I want to say every other week I want to go to church. I don't care if it's difficult, if you are tired, or if you had a show the night before. Even if we have to go to church and just throw on some clothes, like it doesn't have to be a production, like throw on whatever, hair looking like whatever. Because that can be an excuse. Like that's like me personally, I have an OCD personality. And that's another thing that I would kind of like to maybe adjust a little bit. If things aren't 100% right for me, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So I could see myself saying on a Sunday morning, like if I don't have time to get all of the kids' hair done, all of the kids showered, all the kids' teeth brushed, everybody like in the outfits that I want them in, us in our outfits that I want us in, like I'm not going to want to leave the house. Like I'm not going to want to do it. Like, okay, well, we'll get up earlier next week or whatever. Now I want to resolve to be like, whatever.
Right.
Because that my OCD really does hold me back from a lot of things. And it doesn't have to be that specific example, but if things aren't 100% the way that I want it to be, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And it could be something as simple as like taking a picture. If I take a picture and I don't 100% love it, I'm not going to show it to you. I'm not going to use it. I'll just delete it.
Gotcha.
I think I need to be a little bit less rigid about things like that. So I want to loosen up a little bit. So when it comes to church, like, all right, well, we're going to get up and we're going to do the best we can. But if we need to be out of the house by 8 o'clock, then damn it, we're going to be out of the house by 8 o'clock, regardless of what we look like or whatever.
Okay.
Put gas in the car the night before.
And I agree with you. I agree with you. I think sometimes we make excuses and we just have to do it. So I absolutely positively
agree with you. You're tired. I like, all right, well, you're tired. Well, I'll drive. Get your ass in the car. If you fall asleep during the service, you just fall asleep during the service. Do you know what I mean? Like that I think we need to do because Our kids, they need to know more. And I feel as though they need to know that closeness with God firsthand.
Absolutely.
So that's what I want to do. Like, yes, we talk about God. Yes, we pray. Yes, we share things with them. They know God exists. They understand, but I want them to feel it for themselves firsthand.
Absolutely. This week's episode is also brought to you by Zola. Zola is reinventing the wedding planning and registry experience to make the happiest moments in couples' lives even happier. Combining compassionate customer service with modern tools and technology, all in the service of love. Zola is the easiest way to plan your wedding and register with free wedding websites, your dream wedding registry, affordable save the dates and invitations, and easy to use planning tools. Starting with a free wedding website. It just takes minutes to set up, and you can choose from over 100 beautiful designs that fit any style and every type of wedding. Now, I wish Gia and I had this when we were getting married. My goodness, it was so crazy. It was going back and forth. Gia's mom helping, my mom helping, Gia running back and forth. I wish we had something like Zola. Now, to start your free wedding website and also get $50 off your registry on Zola, go to zola.com/KCCrew. That's ZOLA.com/KCCrew to get $50 off your registry today. I wish Zola was around when we were getting married, but hey, when our daughter gets married, which hopefully will be in another 30 years, Zola will definitely be helping us out. Toyota isn't just a car company, and the new podcast, Toyota Untold, isn't just about cars. It's about mobility. It's about helping people move physically, socially, and emotionally. It's about respect for the people and continuous improvement. On Toyota Untold, you hear the behind-the-scenes stories about how a son's love for his mother led to Toyota's unlikely origin as an automated loom company. Definitely check out Toyota Untold. You can find Toyota Untold right now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. It is so dope. Toyota isn't just a car company, and the new podcast, Toyota Untold, isn't just about cars. Check it out. I know we've been going long on this, but I also want to encourage more just people to do bigger things. Mm-hmm. And I thought about this the other day. I do the real estate thing. Mm-hmm. And I do the seminars, and me and you, we go look at houses and we go invest. And, I love it. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy real estate. It's fun. It's a hobby. It's a way to make money. I love my cars and my car shows as well. And
it's something to pass down to our kids.
Absolutely. And that's
the best thing about it to me, mm-hmm. because, we have something that is productive and that's successful, that in a way you can say is almost even easy. That's almost easy. Mm-hmm. Once you learn it. And to be able to pass that knowledge down to our kids, to know that regardless of what they choose to do in life, mm-hmm. They have something else that will generate income for them that'll allow them to recklessly chase their dreams.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like their cushion in
Absolutely.
a sense. So if Madison, let's just say she wanted to be a hairdresser, or mm-hmm. she wanted to own a couple of hair salons or something like that, mm-hmm. Who knows? She can go and chase that. Or let's say she wanted to be an actress.
Right.
She could go and chase that and fail.
Correct.
Because she knows that she has a stream of income coming in separately.
Absolutely.
That's what gives me comfort just about the idea of real estate.
Yeah. And, first of all, if you want to get into real estate, I just want to tell you we have a class January 27th. And in those classes, people always ask us what happens in them seminars, what goes on. We explain to you how we got into real estate and explain and talk to you about how you can. We also have everybody there, from lawyers, attorneys that are real estate attorneys, to agents that help us find the properties, to construction people that actually fix the properties, to hard money lending, to conventional lending. Anything that you would need to actually get into real estate, we would have at that event. And that's January 27th in Queens. But the reason why I said I want to help people and push people in a positive way is because of this. When I wanted to get into real estate, and when I say myself, I say Gia and I, when we wanted to get into real estate, we had no clue. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know what ways to go. We just jumped blindly. And things weren't right. You know, when we bought our first crib, our interest rates were high as hell. when we bought one of our cribs,
so ridiculous.
We moved in probably one of the hottest days of the year, and you know it said AC ready, and we went to turn on the AC, and there was no AC because it just said AC ready. It didn't say air conditioner.
There wasn't an air conditioned unit there.
Correct.
So that was like $10,000-$12,000 that we had to go and spend on an air conditioned unit because we were so green that we didn't even know that we should go and check before we bought the house that an actual air conditioning unit was there. We just took it for granted.
Correct. So it was those type of things that we went through that was just horrible. And shout to Caesar, who is my partner in real estate, that we were just talking and we're talking about all the things and pitfalls that we went through. We said, you know what, let's try to get more people to invest in their own communities. You know, I'm from Queens, Gia's from Brooklyn, and a lot of those places that we live, those houses are skyrocketed. You know, the prices are you know, through the roof. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
I'm sure Gia's, you know, place that she stayed at when she was a kid, that house was probably, yeah.
These are the place that I stayed at when I was a kid.
No, your house. How much you think that house was when your parents bought that house?
Oh, I have no idea. When they bought it?
100,000 maybe?
No. Probably like maybe 250,000 maybe when they bought it.
250,000.
Because I mean, you have to think how many years ago that was.
That house in Brooklyn right now is well over $1 million. You know,
it's crazy the way that houses have gone up. Like your mother's house and whatnot. Like houses in Park Slope are 1.5 million. Like it's crazy.
Correct. But all these houses were a lot cheaper, and we just let them go. We don't think about them, and we don't we rent in our communities and we don't buy. So my whole goal for next year is to encourage people to get into real estate. And I don't care if you buy a crib. I don't care if you buy a 3-family, a house. I just want you to learn the information and just think about it. Have that on your mind. So, you know, people always complain, well, I don't have the money. Well, you got money to buy sneakers. Them Yeezys were $220. Them Jordans were $150. That Louis Vuitton bag was $2,000, $3,000. That Chanel bag was $5,000. All that things that, I don't have the money. Oh, that vacation you took was at least $4,000 or $5,000. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy nice things for yourself. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't go on vacation. But what I'm saying is, if you say, you know what, this year I'm not going to go on vacation and I'm going to invest in a home. That home 9 times out of 10 will pay for your vacations for the rest of your life. That's what I want you to think.
Be more long-sighted.
Long-sighted. Like, you know, we have about 15 units here in Jersey. And now, in those 15 units, let's say pay an average of $1,000 a pop. They pay more than that, but we'll just say $1,000 a pop because it's easy to calculate. That's $15,000 a month of income that brings. That's it.
But I need to stop you right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I were a listener listening to you say that right now.
Break it down. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say to myself, all right, but you're Envy. You have money.
Correct.
I'm not going to lie. That's exactly what I'd be thinking.
Right.
I'm not, you know, I have a regular job. I earn a middle class income. That seems so far away from what's within my grasp.
Because that's what you're programmed to think.
And that's the point.
And that's the problem. The house in Detroit. How much did that house in Detroit cost?
$24,000.
$24,000. What's 10% of $24,000?
$2,400.
$2,400. You trying to tell me that people can't save and get $2,400 to put down on that house and rent that out and make money? That's what you're programmed to think you don't have money.
But the idea of having to buy a house in Detroit, because houses in Queens, houses in Brooklyn, where they're thinking about investing, aren't in Detroit. Do you see what I mean? They're not going to be able to find a house for $24,000, for instance. So let's talk about realistically.
That's realistically.
No, it's realistic. It's realistic for us because you can afford a flight to Detroit to go and take a look at that house or to scout houses in Detroit. For most people, that's not.
I love these conversations. Let's go.
It's the truth.
Right.
It's the truth, though. They're not going to do that. Let's put it that way. They are not going to do that. They're looking towards, or even if it's a consideration, they would have to look towards something that's closer to them.
Okay.
Brooklyn, Queens, Patterson, other areas in New Jersey.
Now you're under assumption that only the people that listen are from the tri-state area. The people that listen I'm just
everywhere. Talking about because that's where we live. So I'm just using that as an example.
I can break it down.
So if you're in California, if you're in Texas, if you're in whatever, you're looking at areas that's close to you.
Correct.
A property that you can manage. But what I'm saying is, for most people, the idea of being, forget about even an investment property owner.
Mm-hmm.
For most people, being a homeowner is an idea that is so far-fetched.
And it shouldn't be.
A lot of people, through their parents and through their surroundings, they're conditioned to rent.
Ask me then.
Renters.
I love this. Ask me, because see, this way I don't have to argue with people on my Instagram.
Well, I don't really need to ask you because I already know. But I'm listening to you and I'm trying to put myself in the position of someone
perfect
that's a listener.
I love this. All right, let me explain. Let me explain. Yes, I love this. Ooh, my nipples are hard. All right, let me explain.
You're an idiot.
All right, so for most people that are listening that might not have a home, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have something called the first time you buy a home, right? They don't charge you nothing down. For a first time home buyer, nothing down, 0% down. So this is what I encourage people to do. For your first home, buy a 3-family house,
right?
A 3-unit home, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you have to put nothing down.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, we just bought a crib in Jersey. It was $80,000. It was a 3-family house.
Mm-hmm. So
now you can buy that house with no money down,
mm-hmm.
right? The house needs some work. I'm not going to sit here and lie. The house needed about $50,000 worth of work.
Mm-hmm. That's $130,000 investment.
$130,000 investment, right? Now, if you do a $130,000 mortgage, your mortgage for that home,
mm-hmm.
full home, 3 floors, is about $1,500 a month.
Right.
Okay, cool. Now, in the area of Jersey where we just purchased that house, each floor rents for $1,500 each.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Right.
So now you have 3 families living in that house. So that's $3,500. $4,500.
Mm-hmm.
Your rent is $1,500.
What do you mean your rent? You mean your mortgage?
Mortgage is $1,500.
$1,500. So that's a $3,000 profit.
Not yet, because you're living
insurance.
No, you're living rent free. So right.
So
now you're living rent free. So the money that you got coming in is $1,500 a month.
But wait, you're talking about a 3-family, right?
Right, 3-family.
So if you're in one of those units, then you're talking about $3,000.
Correct.
That's coming in.
$3,000 a month that's coming in.
Less the $1,500
for mortgage.
So you're living rent free, plus you have $1,500
a month
in your pocket.
Correct.
Right.
So now that $1,500 a month, let's say you live in that house for a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, $16,000, $17,000, $18,000 a month that you're getting profit that you should be saving.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do?
You maybe put that towards your next
property.
investment.
That's your next investment.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And that's what making money off a house, that's what you do. Now, that house that you have, that 3-unit house, you have for your kids for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how somebody who necessarily doesn't have money can get into a house if they really want to do it and really want to grind out and do it.
Right. I'm trying to actually put my girlfriend on to a situation like that right now because she's 32.
Mm-hmm.
She's been paying rent every month since she was 22. She lived with her parents till she was 22. So for 10 years, she's been paying rent. That's money that you are putting out that you are not getting back. It is no investment. Yes, you're paying to live, so you are getting something for it, but there's no investment. You're not seeing anything for it except the ability to live. I told her, if you're going to put out that kind of money every month, you should be an owner. You should own a home.
Right.
Own a home. This way, if you own it and you get something like you just said, a 3-family, then you can rent out the 2 other units, which means that one of those units is paying your mortgage.
Correct.
You're living in one of those units for free. And the 3rd unit is just money in your pocket on top of your regular job.
Right.
Because first when I told her about buying a house, she's like, oh, I can get a dope condo. I can get a this. I can get a that. I'm like, listen, what? She doesn't have any kids.
Correct.
So I'm like, first of all, you don't need that kind of space. You're living thinking that you want to pull up to something that looks, glamorous and that you can deck out and make it look. I'm like, at your age, you need to be thinking about making money.
Right.
You need to be thinking about doing what's sensible, not just what looks crazy. Like you're thinking about a look right now. It's not about a look. It's about, you can afford right now, if you have enough money saved that you can get a property, get a property that has units. Get a 3-family.
Right.
Live in one. Make your apartment look. Make your own, the apartment in the home that you own, make that look dope.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then make it an investment where you profit from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the smartest thing. Even, it doesn't have to be low income. It doesn't have to be this. Look at Angela Yee. Angela Yee, she bought her first home maybe 3-4 years ago, right? What did she do? She bought a house and she put a renter upstairs. So now she has that property. She doesn't have to pay the full mortgage.
She owns it.
She owns it. But the person upstairs pretty much pays the mortgage. And that's what people do. You don't have to jump out the window and say, I just want to do this on my own. No. Buy a 2-family, live on one floor, have a tenant upstairs. Even if it's a friend that you know has it that will pay you and that you won't have a problem with, or a family member that'll pay you that you won't have a problem with. Get into it, feel it out for a little bit, and then you say, okay, now Angela Yee, she could say, you know what? I'm going to leave my crib, rent out this floor, and then go get me another one and do it again. And you can continue to do it and continue to get rent and continue to get rent.
Well, that's the thing. You know, after you get your first one, once you build enough of a profit from that, you can take those profits and invest in another one.
Correct.
And then you can continue that over the course of, say, 10 years, and then you're sitting on a nest egg.
Right.
You know, and you can treat it like a business. And that's really what I want to train our kids to do, because I'm not even going to lie. You know, we spent our whole kid, like the years that they spent growing up thinking, okay, well, what are they going to be? Are they going to be a doctor? Are they going to be a lawyer? Are they going to be a business owner? Are they going to be a philanthropist? Are they going to be a this? Are they going to be a that? Like, what are they going to be? And you invest in their education. You invest in all of these things. And then, you know, we bought our first house. And we sold that house and we made about $100,000 on our first house. Then we bought our second house and we sold that house. And these weren't flips. These are houses that we lived in that we had no idea that we could make money off of. We just happened to want to move on to something different. We made money off the the first house. Then the second house, I think we might have sold it and made $60,000 off the second house. That's just money that we put in the bank and that we saved for, you know, our third house and for other investments. It just happened to be during the height of the market. The market's not great right now, but during those times, we realized that real estate was profitable.
Right.
Because like those were accidents. You know what I mean? It just so happened. But we're like, wow, there's money in real estate. And then we started doing our homework. And we're like, wow, we can really make money off of real estate. So now, like for our kids, I'm not even going to lie, Rashawn. I spent so much time thinking about their future and their education and everything. But really what I want them to do is to get into real estate.
Absolutely.
And as their profession, I want them to chase a dream.
Absolutely.
That's really what I want for them. I want them to be financially stable, and then I want them to be satisfied and happy in their career. Hence, chasing a dream. Like, do what you really want to do because you have a pillow to fall back on.
And that's why I'm pushing so much into real estate.
Yes,
that's why
I want them to own property after property after property after property. Invest in your communities, you know. Provide some type of affordable living for people where not only are you doing what works for you, you're also doing what works for your community. You're helping your community.
Absolutely.
You're cleaning up communities. You're making communities beautiful. You're providing people with a way to afford housing. You know, you're doing good on all bases. Right. You know what I mean? So we had that conversation with Madison. So I really want to set her up that when she graduates from college, I want to gift her a property so that she knows that she has income and then she can go do whatever she wants to do. And then
Absolutely.
The same thing for Logan.
And we're on the same page with that. And hopefully it just opens your mind into things where maybe, even if you don't come to my seminar, come to a different seminar, read a book, learn a little bit about real estate and how
before
a lot of
you
these
count
people,
yourself out.
Absolutely. Like people in this country, or not even in this country, in the world, have made fortunes off of real estate. And that's buying properties, renting them out, holding them, flipping and all that other stuff. So just do your homework, man. And I know it's time for us to get up out of here. It's over an hour already, which is crazy. We just been talking. So I just want to tell everybody for next week, I know we've been getting tons of emails. So we're just going to answer all of you guys' emails next week.
Well, not all of you.
Well, as much as we can.
We're going to pick 3.
3, 4, yeah. And
3, 4.
And really answer a lot of your emails and talk
all
to you.
Your emails.
And, you know, we just want to say we appreciate you guys for riding with us for the last couple of years. We're so grateful and thankful. We have the best listeners. You know, the reason why I love you guys is you guys ride out for us. And it's not even a matter of, 40 million people listen a week. No, I don't care about that. I care about the people that listen we affect. And the fact that when we're out and about and people stop me and say, hey, me and my wife was having a problem, or me and my husband was having a problem, and we listened to your podcast and it helped us open our minds into different things and different solutions. And the fact that we thought we were the only ones going through this, and the fact that, I thought I was the only one having this problem, and, you guys can relate, because all we try to do is to be absolutely positively real. And I hate saying that because they be like, I'm real. No, we put everything on it. I know. But we put everything on the table,
Yeah.
And I think one thing as a couple that we've learned through our trials and tribulations is that the only people that we have to satisfy is each other.
Yeah.
And if somebody doesn't like it, or somebody laughs, or somebody feels away, honestly, we really don't give a fuck, because it's all about Gia Casey, Madison Casey, Logan Casey, London Casey, Jackson Casey, and Brooklyn Casey. And everybody else, excuse my French, could suck my dick from the back.
Awesome.
But I really feel that way. Like, this year, make it about family, and make it about encouraging and being a positive role model for the youth. And that's what we will continue to do and continue to push. I've never sold drugs. Gia's never sold drugs. She's never put no drugs up her poom poom.
What is wrong with you? You were going so good. You were going so good.
I'm just leaving. Let me.
I was sitting here smiling.
Let me leave on my
and
positive.
You said some are you serious?
Let me leave it on positive. Not to say that, if you had to do that
in the world,
if you had to do that we look down upon you, or anybody looks down upon you. I'm just saying that you can be positive and make it, and you can be positive and do it, and you don't have to do negative things. And what we try to do is encourage being positive, and encourage doing the right thing, and encourage being great. And we want everybody out there to be great.
Man, don't look at me.
Right,
don't look at
drugs
me.
and the poom poom thing.
Like, what is wrong? Like, how do you even? Like,
saying,
how did that even come out of you?
We worked hard. We didn't have to do nothing left. That's what I was saying. You didn't have to, get drugs from Colombia and bring them here.
I don't even have anything.
I watch too much TV. I'm sorry.
I was sitting here. I'm looking at you. I'm smiling. I'm feeling it's feeling endearing. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, wow, that's amazing. Yes, I love the people that listen. And yes, all we want to do is, inspire and provide a reference point
like the for
people.
The drugs
every day. Like, it was so good. I was so proud. I'm like, wow, I love the way he's putting these words together. He's actually affecting me with his words right now. Wow. And then you say that.
So I almost had the panties off, and then right when
they went right back up.
Damn it.
They went right back up. Zipped up, got my umbrella.
Damn.
Got my keys.
Damn it, man.
I'm getting in the car. I'm gone. I'm going home.
I gotta go jerk off again.
With you.
All right. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the new year. We appreciate you guys for riding us. Thank you again.
For riding us?
I said for riding with us.
No, you
didn't. I'm not being serious with you, man. Well, I'll see you guys next year. I'm DJ Envy.
And I'm Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the Casey Crew.
Toodles. Yo, what is wrong with you though?